Who's that? Welcome back, everybody, to another East County Voices. We're your hosts. We're your hosts, Nicole Cares and Carlos Tacos. And uh, what do we got going on tonight besides the sounds from your side?
Dr. Kimberly Payton will be back tonight, joining us to give us some more awesome information about education and whatever else she plans to speak about. So we expect to see her here shortly.
Nice.
And we will have some community updates regarding the Board of Supervisor meeting yesterday, the African American Wellness Hub.
Nice.
And Frank Sterling should be popping in to give us some information about a rally that's going on Saturday in Concord, California.
This Saturday?
This
Okay.
Saturday.
All right. Looking forward to that. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mind my dogs, y'all. I got chihuahuas, so you know those guys are. Can you hear them barking?
Yeah, it's okay. But you know what you could do because you know what today is. We need thing for Selena.
I know, right? So happy birthday. Shout out Selena. 54 years. She would have been 54 today. She was born in 71. So shout out Selena. I got a picture here. I got any pictures? I got a picture here somewhere. Here you go. Hey, there she is.
Selena.
Yeah. I ain't playing no music though because they'll get us for copyright infringement.
We can't play beady beady. I can sing it. Beady beady bum bum. Come on,
we got Sean. What up, Sean? What up, Sean?
Hi, how are you? Well, thank you.
Happy
yes. Continue to rest in peace, people. Selena.
Man, so I was on Netflix right now, like all day, just binge watching. Look at hi.
Hello, my
love. Just binge watching Selena, the series is called on Netflix. So I never watched it before, but I figured today was a good day. I barely just watched season 1 or the first season. I'm on season 2. It took all day to watch season 1. Felt like I wasted the whole day, but I didn't feel like doing nothing today.
No waste.
Right? No waste. I know I don't want to go outside. It's like my van, for example, is covered in pollen. So
yeah.
Anyways.
Oh, thank you. You just reminded me I need to take my honey. And in case you guys don't know, raw unprocessed honey, that's all you need for. Hey, Dr. Kim, that's all you need for your allergies. I take it every day.
Not good. Now I can't hear.
I had a question about that.
The raw unprocessed honey.
Yeah. So that helps with the pollen that we're allergic to, but does that help with?
Now
I'm allergic to cut grass too.
It helps with it. It does. It helps with your allergies all the way around. That's why you have to get local raw unprocessed honey to where you are, because the bees pollinate from this area.
Nice.
So yes, I've been taking honey since my girls were little. That's all I take. I do not take any medicines for my allergies.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the dogs in the room, so I'll be right back, y'all.
Okay. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. Nice to see you.
You too. Long time no see since yesterday.
I know, huh?
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, I do need to say that we are going to have Dr. Kirby Lynch on to speak about yesterday and all the things that are going on with the Wellness Hub and all that good stuff. There is a debrief tomorrow for the community. We'll share that information a little bit later, but she is going to join the show here in a couple of weeks. So that's going to be great.
In a couple of weeks or when?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not tonight.
Not tonight. Yeah, when her schedule permits in the next 2 weeks, she'll be joining the show.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you?
All right, just tired, battling allergies like everybody else.
Yeah. Honey, I'm telling you. Because especially
I
if you smell
know.
those stinky trees, it's going to jack you all up. So,
Yeah, I gotta get some.
That's what I take every day. Yes, welcome back.
Sorry about that. I had a bribe them too. Well, they didn't want to go in the room. Gotta get some ham, and yeah, they went in the room. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh no, you I think you took the last copy with you. It was
So
on that
funny.
paper.
Uh-oh.
And it was one I had there, but maybe the
Let me
nurse
do
took
that
that
too.
one.
Hello? No,
Oh,
just kidding.
So silly. Oh gosh. All
Anyways.
right, my dear. You have the floor.
She's looking on the
not
floor.
me.
So what's on the floor? She said, what's
I
on the
have the
floor?
You have the floor.
She's looking on the floor too.
No, I was actually picking something up I dropped on the floor.
Well, at least the floor ain't lava.
Just a coincidence. Well,
Yeah,
how's everybody
perfect.
tonight?
Good. Thank you.
Good. I didn't get to hear from Carlos. I heard from Nicole. She's always doing well.
No,
She's
I said
always
good.
full.
I even gave a thumb up, but you couldn't even see because my thumb was down here.
Oh.
Doing good.
All right. Well, I guess as you guys know by now, I won the election, so the new president. Yep.
And for the
So
people that
glad to
don't
have.
know, what was the
Huh?
election? For the people that don't know, what election are we talking about?
Oh, the NAACP, the East County NAACP election.
Nope, branch.
Nice.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
won
We were
what
talking
position?
about it the last time I was on the show.
Yes.
There you go.
Congrats to the new president of the NAACP East County. Yep. Woo woo.
Yes. And congratulations to Carlos because he's been appointed to the executive committee for communications.
Woo woo.
Yep.
I can communicate.
Looking forward to good things.
Oh, he's such a nut. Yes, congratulations.
Looking forward to good things and tacos.
That's right.
Hello.
That's my communication language is tacos.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah. So we got some people in the audience. We got so are we waiting on anybody, or are we just gonna get down with the
We're gonna get down with the
interview, or what are we
get
talking
down.
about? Right. So
Oh, I guess maybe I should well, are you gonna share the Zoom for tomorrow?
That's already on here. Before everybody made
Oh,
their
they can see
comments,
it?
if they scroll
Okay.
to the top where it says East County Voices, the first comment, that long old that's the link. Let me see if that's a link on the let me see. Hold on, let me get on here.
So let me just real quick because I want to make sure that everybody knows because there's a debrief tomorrow on the Board of Supervisors, the boss meeting that we have on Tuesday. It's from 2 to 3 p.m. and we're gonna go over everything. There's a Zoom link in the chat.
Yeah.
So everyone is free to join this community debrief.
Yeah, it's the second one. We're good.
Who's running that? Are you
Dr. Kirby?
Oh, so she'll be here tomorrow. Okay.
No, it's gonna be a Zoom. She's just doing a Zoom tomorrow debrief.
Oh, she's doing a Zoom. Okay.
Oops,
yeah. Where is it in the chat?
It is.
Yeah, it's the first.
I can text it to you too.
Oh yeah, please.
All the way up at the top. First comment. Well, actually, it's the
Oh,
second
okay,
one. I
there
don't
you
know
go.
why it posted it twice. The first one's a dud, and the second one's the live link. So figure that one out. I only sent it once.
So you said the first one works though, right?
There's two. You'll see one is dead, and then the second one's blue. So it'll be the blue one. That's the live link. But I know
Oh,
if I remove the
both
first
of
one,
mine are black.
huh?
Both of mine are black.
Are they?
I just texted to you.
Oh, okay.
My bad, y'all.
It's okay. We just want everybody to know that, and if they want to join, they can always ask and we can give them the information too.
Yeah. See, on my end, it shows the second
The
one is the
thing.
blue. See the blue right there?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, Kim, it's on you.
Okay.
So what are we talking about?
Well, not sure what you guys want me to talk about exactly. So there's going to be some new changes for the East County NAACP. I can talk about that. So we have an all new, well-rounded, robust, well-equipped, put together executive committee of a lot of different community members that have been out here working to support and help the community. So I'm looking forward to all of us trying to be proactive, not just reactive. Not sure if everybody knows everybody, but on the fourth Thursday of the month is the general membership meeting at True Light Baptist Church. And if you come out, not this week, but next week, you'll get to meet everybody at 7:00. So we would love to have the community come out and the members. So
remind them it's in Pittsburgh because they may not.
Oh yeah, in Pittsburgh at True Light. I didn't know if there's True Light down here, but True Light Baptist Church in Pittsburgh. And so there's some people that have been around. So somebody you might not know, like Timothy Jeffries. He's from the Boilermakers Union. They have some good training programs too. He's over our labor now. Devin Williams. Everybody knows Devin, but he is the third vice, and he is going to be bringing AXO, helping the NAACP bring AXO to the community. Antoine Webster is going to be working on some economic development. Miss Leslie May is going to be doing women in the NAACP. So they'll be spotlighting and talking about different women. And hopefully she'll be able to spotlight local women that are working in the community. So there's prison branch support. Yvette Williams is going to be doing that. There's religious affairs. The pastor that just retired from St. Mark will be working on that. Let me see who else. Ronald Muhammad's going to be doing membership. I think Denisha Marsh from Pittsburgh. She's going to be working with education. She'll be the education voice. And all of them are looking for members that want to work on their committees. Mr. Neal that works with Yvette is going to be the assistant secretary to help us out to make sure we keep all our minutes straight. So that's kind of the well-rounded bunch. There's a few more people. Do you guys want me to read the
answer the questions?
Okay. So let me see. It says there's a lot of people that don't want to be a part of it or go through. How will you get people to get engaged? So I think one of the things is, and I'm just going to focus on Antioch for the moment, but we all know all over Contra Costa County, there's racism and justice and just people doing wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm hoping that we can be a proactive group, not just a reactive group, and start to get out in the community and let people know we're here. Start being more visible at other meetings, not just Antioch School Board and City Council, but other meetings. Also, getting out there and providing information to people of color. There's some much needed health information that needs to go out to support communities of color, especially with all of the cuts from that person that's in Washington.
Mm.
And there's a lot of misinformation and needed information that needs to go out around health. There's supports that need to be around housing, and one of my main goals is to create. Everybody's been saying we don't know who's who. We don't have real resources. And so I would like to see us put together resources, and not just a card because it's this person gave it to you, but some usable resources for people in the community for different services. I think we've been missing that for a long time, especially since we might want to start supporting our own. I think much needed thing that's left behind. I would also like to see us be proactive with giving out more information and paying attention to things going on in education, advocating for some more resources for youth when possible, bringing in more community partners. And one of the things I'm looking to do now is trying to find legal support for the NAACP, because sometimes when you come, you have issues that need legal assistance. So it would be good to get a perspective from somebody from that background in that field, to know how to approach it and how to get it resolved, not just for, like civil rights in general, but, around housing, around education, around elder abuse, because there's a lot of that going around too.
Yeah. Well, our next question is a hard hitter. So the previous leadership did not, and we know that, did not work with families in need. I'm sorry, but I wish I was more optimistic.
Well, I actually enjoy working with everybody. I feel bad that the previous leadership did not. One of the reasons why I ran is because I actually felt like the previous leadership neglected the community. I feel like the previous leadership just left everybody to fend for themselves instead of being that leader that we needed. From COVID on down. I know there was a little bit of reach out during COVID from the branch, but I felt like a little bit more could have been done. I feel like the low-income communities and people of color were hardest hit because they got information kind of last, recycled information, not complete current information. And the amount of illness and death that hit those communities really answered that. It said that we were lacking. So I hope to be the one that reaches out across the board to everybody. I know it's a big task. I know that there's a lot to be done. I like the way Gigi Crowder is really focusing on the male voice, because they're unheard. They're lacking in services too. So I really would like to be that voice of reason to just continue to try to build people back together. And I know it's going to take a lot to get people to trust again, because the previous leadership was not really visible, not really supportive. And like I said, it's one of the reasons why I ran.
I said exactly. It was very exclusive for the BS forums.
So I know I heard that before, you guys, but actually I'm gonna say something a lot of people didn't know, but the forums were actually my idea. Because at the time when I started getting involved with Antioch, I was trying to figure out how could we let their voices be heard.
Mhm.
And what happened is it kind of got spun in the wrong direction. And then personalities got involved. And then everybody that was at the table, instead of coming together, just kind of pushed back and didn't, I feel, be as supportive as it could have been.
Okay.
I think that the forums were meant to be a bridge where the community could talk and reach out to the police and say how they feel. But then I think that fell apart because there was so much undertone in the background going on,
Mm.
that even I don't understand all of it. I think that that took away from it. So the thing that it could have did, it didn't happen. But I had a good takeaway from it. I actually met more people in the community and saw people that really wanted to be there, um, than I think anybody really noticed, especially from the NAACP side. I think everybody's like, oh, they're always here. But the fact that that person is always there means they always care and they're always, having their voice heard, which is what
Mhm.
counts. So
Mhm.
that was a big takeaway for me from that. And I wouldn't have known so many people. I never would have known who Carlos was. I wouldn't have known who Devitt was. Just being out there, just pushing the youth to be out there and supporting them from the background. Because as the first vice, I was basically kind of kept to be silent. Like I wasn't really given any
Mhm.
opportunity to speak out, say anything. So I just kind of sat silent. But what it did is it helped me learn and meet people and know, when somebody's engaging the place that they're coming from. So
Mhm. Okay. All right. You've been put in the hot seat, but you're doing a great job as always. But yeah, I know that I sometimes there's things I want to say because you already know, but we'll just leave it at, just glad that certain people aren't in certain positions because they definitely, I think, took those positions just to have a title, just to say that, hey, this is who I am, but not actually really do anything, because it's not about I'm this person. It's what are you doing? What are you doing to help? Because you're supposed to be helping people. You're supposed to be in a place of servitude. I love
yeah,
that. Like a breath of fresh air.
yeah.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think that one of the things is if you're in that place where you can speak out, I think that you need to be more measured, and that instead of not saying anything at all, will let people know you're kind of like gathering, your thoughts or your information to know how to proceed, instead of saying nothing and then following that up with doing nothing, and then following that up with more time and then still doing nothing. And
Mm-hmm.
so those are things that I hope not to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm just looking for, like, one of the things I would like all of the committees, since we have so many now, I would really like us all to set some goals to how to be out there, how to be more supportive in those areas that you're already working in where there's a shortfall.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do we address that? And I don't want to run up on, because I still know that or I've seen and heard in communities where people will say, oh, well, you know, that kid got suspended from school. What did he do? Maybe he deserved it. Instead of being neutral and saying, hey, if the parent's complaining, maybe I should look into it. Or, because
Exactly.
we all know that, for instance, kids are a really good example, because kids are kids, right? We've all been kids before, so we know
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes they may do things they shouldn't do. But there's no way on God's green earth that all these kids getting suspended are all get really. That's a lot of kids.
Exactly. Right.
There cannot
Right.
be thousands of kids that are just off the chain. That's just not, that's not
Right.
true.
I've always, not that we don't respect educators, because we do, but the problem, they get treated like the police a lot of times. Just because they're educators, they can't lie and whatever they say is it. No, that is not the case, because they lie like everybody else. They're people like everybody else. I've definitely witnessed them lying to my face, trying to tell me about my child, because mind you, believe me, before I come talk to you, I'm going to know exactly what happened. And I'm going to tell my child, you better tell me every single thing I need to know. I don't care, good, bad, or indifferent. I better know everything, because I get in there and I don't know something, it's going to be a problem. So once I'm in front of you, there's nothing you can tell me that I don't already know. So you would want to be telling me the truth. So no, they're not going to always be honest about what the child did or what happened or whatever, because I've literally sat there and had people lie in my face about my kids. And my kids aren't even bad kids. So just imagine, just because someone does something or is labeled bad, and that's something we need to stop doing, is with these labels, doesn't mean they did something every single time either. You know, they like to do paper trails on people. Well, you did this before, so you had to have done this. No, that's not how that works. Every single time is a different time, you know. You can't just say, well, you did this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like that. I don't like the labels, and I don't like the, just because they did something one time, that means that every time someone says something about them, that is true. That's not the case, you know. And I think that's what happens to our children way too much.
Yeah. And I think that just opening up the dialogue about how to talk to the school and stuff like that, I think that many parents need to know that. They kind of need to get some resource to know that, and know that they feel supported. Grandparents, and it's not just true for education, it's also true for other incidents. That it's true for elder abuse. It's true for other things. I am one of the main people saying that, you know, everything's gone to technology, and it's okay with me, but I've been in doctor's offices and watched seniors really struggle with that. Like some seniors, I know a 90-year-old lady right now who does not do email. Like I remember she came to my house, she was like, Kim, could you help me? Could you help me get an email? And I helped her, and she doesn't check it. She's like, I told the doctor I don't do that. Like some things are just past certain people. Some, and it's not just because of age, I won't say that, but if you're 90, right, and you're not at that space in your life where you feel like you really want to be technology informed, you're not gonna be. It's just, you know, and who's gonna browbeat a senior and say you have to do it?
And they're 90 years old.
Yeah. So I don't like that we try to force things on people, and that you know, that's an example how it is in education. It's the same thing back and forth. And anyway, I just hope that we as a community could start having more empathy instead of judgment. Yeah. That would help out a lot too.
I feel like, well, one thing my daddy told me years ago when I was a kid is the further we advance in technology, the further we're going to regress as people. And I've seen it happen. He said this way back in the 80s. I've seen it happen. And then not only do we have that hiccup along with all the other hiccups that we have, but then, you know, COVID came around, and you can't talk to people outside of your home, and further separated everybody. Like you already have a disconnect because social media and all this other crap that people are always on and doing, right? And then you have this whole shutdown of you can only associate with the people you live with. Well, what do you think that's going to do for people who already don't know how to socialize with people, or are already, you know, just whatever the case may be, right? So there's this whole thing now where people literally do not care about people. Like you can see it just the way people drive. People literally try to drive through your car. You could be turning and not complete with your turn, and people are already driving at you. Like, how are you going? And I'm not even past your car yet. You know, like it's almost like, do you think we live in a cartoon world? Like I'm trying to understand like what it is that you don't understand. You have to wait for the person. And just like it's okay to stop at a stop sign, it's okay to stop at a red light because that's what you're supposed to do. You don't just drive through it because you're turning right. That's not how that works. Like, it's just a lot of just, you see it in every single thing every day, unfortunately, of just people literally do not care about people they don't know. And it's unfortunate, you know?
So I'm just gonna ask a question. So Carlos, I noticed that you're always really measured in your responses. So do you have any questions for me? You
Right.
got
I
that
knew it.
serious look going on.
Yeah, I'm running there behind the scenes over here too while I'm listening, trying to listen to you guys talk, and then running the studio in the background at the same time. So a lot of stuff's
Okay.
happening, but you guys don't see it. But I'm trying to get it all going. Is my mute?
Nope, we
No,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Oh, okay. The mute button just popped up. Like, oh, okay. No, I'm no questions. For me, I think I'm just excited to, that we're gonna get we got our meeting coming soon, and I'm looking forward to helping any way I can. I know with the website, you said we got a website. You said we got the media already. So looking forward to doing my part and helping out with the NAACP. So
Yeah, we got to get hooked into all the media, but yeah, we have it.
it's
But
there.
getting hooked into it is going to be the next adventure. But yeah, we do have it. And so, just as somebody new coming on board, what are your aspirations as a communications person? What would you like to see? Because I know I hear a lot around the community. What do they do? What's going on? So what would you like to see?
Everything that, like, all the events that we're about to do, I want to like put them on blast, like, everywhere, so I don't ever want to hear somebody say, oh, I didn't even hear about that event, so, because we hear that a lot out here, and I'm like, how can you not? What surprises me is, how are you not hearing it? And we're like a small community,
Mm-hmm.
so I want to make sure everybody, that there's nobody that didn't have an excuse to say, I didn't hear about it. So yeah, I'm going to do the best of my ability to put it everywhere, do a lot of promotions and get the word out. So yeah.
We had a comment that said, hell yeah, spread the word. You want to show it?
Oh yeah, right here.
And there's another one.
Oh yeah, here's another one too.
Absolutely. We want Carlos to be paid. Yes.
Well, that's another thing we have. Devin is also, when he brings AXO, a lot of people don't know what AXO is, but AXO is where they take young people that are doing STEM, theater, music, dance, and there's like a nationwide competition at the end, but they promote them. And so some are able to perform, some get scholarships from outside organizations as well. But that's something to bring another activity. I know that our area is kind of tight on activities, but there's a lot of youth who are involved in some form of the arts or STEM. And I think that's also a good opportunity to give youth another, thing to do in a positive direction for those that are interested. Especially since things for youth are so scarce out here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not, everybody's looking for something for their child to do, their sister's child to do. Everybody's looking for that. And so the more resources we have out here for young people, the better.
Yeah. Okay. That's going to be a good thing. I know they wrapped up the Ready Rep program when they were going around telling everybody how to be prepared for disasters and things like that. So I'm glad that he has another campaign going.
Yeah, I don't know, it might take him a bit to get it started up, but because there's like a lot of process and background work to it. But
Mm-hmm.
Gavin and I are really hoping that he could get it going because so many
Mm-hmm.
young people have asked that do know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really hoping that he could get it going. And
Okay.
since it's open for everybody, I think that would be a good idea. Yeah. And then we're gonna have for people who can't make it to the meeting, we're working on a reception for the new people because normally when you get sworn into the NAACP, the swearing in's at the MLK breakfast so everybody knows who you are. So
Right.
now at least if we have a reception, you'll still get to come out, meet, talk to the different members of the executive committee, see what we're working on, see what we're talking about. So that'll be good. I see
Yeah.
it looks like Miss
Too
Torres
bad
putting
the
there,
youth
too bad the
center.
youth center will not be in Antioch.
Yeah, I
Right.
know.
We could
Right.
really use one in Antioch. I thought that was a bummer. I felt shortchanged with that one. I
Yeah.
really did. I mean, I know
'Cause we
that I live
asked
in
for
Pittsburgh,
that.
but I really just
We
I
asked for
thought
that
that was just awful that they gave it to her. Yeah.
because we already have things in Pittsburgh. We don't need it here.
Right. I just knew Antioch would get some sort of, more support.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was
Like
starting.
the
I don't
more you
even. I'm not an
ask,
Antioch resident. I'm not an Antioch resident, but I was starting to feel like Antioch was the wicked stepchild or something.
right?
So much
Like,
was happening. Like, why?
yeah, it's like it's almost like it's on purpose that they, like you keep. It seems like the more you ask for things out there, the less you seem to get, and it's not.
Yeah. So, and if you look at the cities around, it was like you got that regentrification vibe.
Yeah,
Like let's herd them over to this area.
yeah, they did. The boss skipped over Antioch per usual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the crazy part is they had it rezoned, and I feel like the person who's benefiting the most in Oakley, who's trying to take everything from Antioch, I feel like she had a hand in having it rezoned, and she's the one who has the bulk of Antioch. And why? Because you're not interested in doing a thing for Antioch. Not one single solitary thing is important to be done in Antioch to her. So,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
unfortunate. But you know what? The more, and I know coming up as it gets closer to election time, I know one of the goals for a lot of people on the new NAACP executive committee is to have more voter education workshops
Mm-hmm.
because one thing that we can all do is vote and we can run for office. So the sooner we start positioning ourselves to take back some seats
Mm-hmm.
and get involved and engaged, maybe the better things will get.
Yeah, and we
And
need people to run for. I'm hoping that Burgess and Anderson's districts. I hope their district seats are up soon, so people can run for those seats because they need to go. Sorry.
You get more youth involved
I
too.
mean, yeah, I feel like those two, because they have no, yeah, they're definitely not worried about our problems at all by any means. And Anderson, I don't think she knows anything but Lafayette, Orinda, San Ramon living. So why would she care about anything happening out here?
so
How do you
there's a
separating the
how I
corners from
feel
the
about separating the coroner's office from the sheriff's office.
hmm.
So um I I feel like that needs to happen. So I
Absolutely.
have family members who went through a nightmare. I myself went through a nightmare when I found my own mom dead, but that was over in Alameda County. But over here, I feel like it should be separated because it's a disservice to families. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you instead of already grieving and trying to get something done, for those people who really have to go through the nightmarish process of trying to get a death certificate signed,
Yeah.
it's really bad. Because I watched one family member I had recently who passed away. I think the ordeal went on for almost 3 weeks.
Yes, they should.
And, it was uncalled for. Oh,
Yeah. We could bring it back.
okay.
More youth
Oh,
should
more
apply
youth should
to
apply
the missions
any
14.
commissions 14 and up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
they should. But I also think that we should, as the community, should do more to make sure that our youth know about the commissions.
Mm-hmm. They
Because
can
I've
apply.
been listening around. Mhm. I think we could do more, like Carlos was saying about everybody knowing and getting the word out. I
Mm-hmm.
think that we should do more as a community too, especially to get young people, period, but young people of color involved, and
Yes.
to know that these commissions are available. Because somehow they're still missing it. I was listening to
Yeah.
one parent that I came into contact recently. She was even missing scholarship information that went out.
Oh
So
my.
I
Well, we need
I
to
really
make
think.
the announcement right now to the youth 14 and up. You can run for these commissions. So please get out and do that, because I know that's something we're working for out here for them to be. We want them to be. We want you to be on. We want a youth representative on the school board. We want a youth representative on city council, and we want youth representatives anywhere that's affecting, because everything is affecting them. We want a youth representative on each one of those, whatever it is. We want them to be there. How would you make sure the youth
So
are aware of these
I
opportunities?
see. I'm sorry. How would you make sure the youth are aware of these opportunities?
Mm.
And a part of building a community partnership is letting everybody in the community know. For example, um, there are some churches that are full of youth. They don't always get community information and assignments.
Right.
I was just at a church where I was speaking 2 weeks ago, and their youth were not even aware that there were opportunities, period.
Mm.
And so I think that we could do more about reaching out to them, reaching out to people where centers are, taking the time to follow back up if we are putting them out in the education system,
Mm-hmm.
checking to see if we could send it out more than once, getting on, listservs, and going to where youth are and engaging. There's a few places that have community boards where youth hang out. I think we just need to do more to reach out to young people, not just saying, okay, well, I sent it to the school and it went home, or
Right.
that's not quite enough.
Yeah.
And also reaching out, there's people who homeschool or have homeschool. Those youth are always looking for engaging activities.
Yes, they
In
are.
fact, a lot of homeschool programs, they have like little homeschool communities for get-togethers and things for youth.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually a national service program that you can do. I think I gave the information to Gavin. I think they're going to start putting it out to help youth have activities too that are around engaging in civics. So I just think we need to all do our part to reach out, even if we, reach out to little places around the area, activities, just kind of be more boisterous and be more out there.
Our other question was, tell them what a commission is and what a commission is for.
So
commission for what type of thing?
What was she meaning? Like,
it says, tell them what is a commission. So what's a commission? And then a commission for what? I guess it's like basically just explaining what commissions are they can be a part of, what it would be for. Like, for instance, can they be part of oversight? Like, what type of commissions can they be?
Oh, yeah. So that's another thing. I need to know. That's one of the things the NAACP wants to know too, is exactly all the commissions are out there.
Mm-hmm.
I know the youth were advocating for people to be on like the city council and the school board, but
Yes.
we still need to know like what's out there besides those. Like, are they on Parks and Rec? Are there seats on
Okay.
you know, other places where youth are? Not just the teen one for Antioch. Oh, and that's another thing. I don't know if you guys were at the last, but I guess something happened at the movie night, for example. If we are going to do that, I think that, or if cities periods are going to have those type of commissions, I think they do need to make sure there's adequate adults in the room for those events, because that's a turn off to parents. Like, why would you want your child to be a part of the teen commission when, you know, fights are breaking out, trouble's breaking out when they do events? The whole purpose is to give them something constructive to do that's safe and, you know, civic engaging, not something to go and a brawl comes, the police are called, it's all over social media. That's like the opposite.
Yeah, we definitely don't want that.
Yeah, that's not something that you want your youth or young person participating in.
So they can be in all commissions in Antioch. But then the question also was like, if I've never heard of a commission, what is a commission? So we could explain that as in, I guess, I don't know, like how would we explain? Every parent signs a release form, but I mean the Economic Development Commission, and she's going to have more to it. Hold on a second. Every parent signs a release form. Okay, but I mean the Economic Development Commission, and it gets you all should do a show on that. Okay.
You guys are like going all in and out on me.
Okay, sorry. I was reading her comment about saying that we should do a show about the Economic Development Commission.
Oh yeah, okay. So I personally, like I said, don't know all the ones available in our area, but I would like to know that so that I could help get the word out about them. So as far as I know, it's a group of people that are charged with or that try to have a particular function, like the Economic Development Commission or Parks and Rec. So they're around that particular area. And they're charged with, I guess, a governance of part of that. Like there's a police oversight commission. They have a purpose. So I guess it would depend on what actual area it was to finish the sentence of what it is, if that makes sense. I didn't confuse anybody else. But but that does sound like a really good show to do. In fact, that's an excellent idea.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much for that. We're down to like 10 minutes and we do have a couple of things going on too. So I think what we'll do is let you do like 5 more minutes of what you want to close out with. And then we need to give the information for Frank since he wasn't able to drop in. Because it's this Saturday, so we definitely want to make sure we inform the community of what he has going on. So we'll give you 5 more minutes if you like, unless you know.
Well, just to recap, because I actually people reached out to me the last time I was on the show about education, and I just want to remind people that summer's coming. So as summer comes, I know it's real tempting for your young person or your young scholar to say, "Hey, I want the summer off." Just advocating that you don't give the summer really completely off,
right?
That you still find something to keep them engaged in, be it you know, they have books on, movies about books, whatever. They have just a lot of different ways that you can engage your young person. Remember that just having a recap dialogue of something you guys just did brings comprehension. And signing up for a word a day vocabulary helps. But just keeping them engaged and not leaving them to the TV and the video game helps a lot, because you don't want them to. For them, it's also a struggle for you, because you're going to have a headache too, trying to get them to get back, back in the swing of things. So I'll just part with that. And then I would like to invite everybody to come to the general NAACP meeting next Thursday. We would love to have new members join and participate, share your ideas. We're looking forward to putting out suggestions to the community of how we can help support the community and be more engaged. So that's the end of my soapbox.
Okay. And then it was a shout out to Bay Area Community Resources After School Program.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, as always. It's a wealth of information. Congratulations again. Thank you for winning. We know that there's going to be some good change coming. Some actual work is going to be done now. There's not just a name holding on out there. So we appreciate that. Thank you for even wanting to fill that space, because we know it was a challenge.
Thank you guys for the support. Hi, Frank.
Of course. Welcome, Frank. We want to let you talk about Saturday.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
I'm good. So sorry to miss most of the show. I've been traveling and getting here and there, but yeah, I hope y'all had a good show, and I'd like to contribute to what do you call it? Community updates.
Yes.
All right. Well, I don't know if Carlos can pull it up, but I did send the flyer. Look at that. He's like within 1 second.
Got you. I had it prepared for you.
Hey, wait a minute. Watch this. Watch this. Let me get in the picture. All right. Yeah. So I'm working with the folks that are putting on this rally, Stop the Trump Attacks on the People and the Environment. It'll be a rally and march, and that's coming up Saturday, April 19th at 1 p.m. at the Concord BART Plaza. So if you go to the traditional Concord BART Plaza, not the North Martinez and Concord, but the one downtown near Grant Street, we'll be right there in the center in the plaza. And I was trying to get my list of speakers together so I could tell you all, but it's still crammed in my pocket because I'm coming from a late meeting of the folks involved. But we'll have, which I probably won't even be able to read in the slide. It's so tiny print.
That's the BART by Todos Santos, right?
Yeah, it's just right down the street from Todos Santos Plaza, right down Grant Street. In fact, we're going to have a rally from about 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, maybe 2:15 or so. Then we're going to take a half-mile march through Todos Santos Plaza. And we're going to have folks coming from it's so hard to read this tiny print, but one is Stand Together Contra Costa to talk about immigration. We're going to have folks from the Take Down Tesla rallies that happen in Walnut Creek over there. In fact, we're partnering with them to be, more locked into the community. We got folks from Raise the Roof that are coming from Concord who've been working on the rental agreements with the city that have just been rolled back. And there's a whole host of folks. In fact, there's 15 speakers.
Nice. So Councilwoman Laura Nakamura?
Councilwoman Laura Nakamura will be there. She actually voted to keep the protections on rental. And I will also say this, that the mayor, I do believe it's Carol Obringer, she voted against keeping the rent control, but she will be speaking at the event. And the goal of the event is to unite people under the banner that we're fighting the stuff that we disagree with in the Trump administration, the deportations, the crackdown on the colleges, the crackdown on Social Security and all the other
Disagree with
government stuff.
everything.
Yeah. So we're still inviting Mayor Obringer out there. We can disagree on other policy issues, local policy issues, and we could take that to city council and talk about that. But she is united in these bigger battles against the administration, deporting our college students, deporting our immigrant rights advocates, coming after, like I said, our Social Security, our post office. We're going to have a lot of representation that's going to be there. Again, like I said, about I think there's 15 to 16 speakers, and yeah, I hope people can come out. It's a lot doesn't happen in Concord as far as rallies and anti-establishment type stuff. So this is your opportunity to not have to travel to Oakland, to San Francisco, even to Walnut Creek. It's right over the hill. And again, I'll remind folks the time. It's going to be this coming Saturday, April 19th at 1 p.m. at the downtown Concord BART Plaza. And your friend right here, Franklin, is going to be a co-MC. So I'll be helping to introduce the speakers as they come aboard. And then, like I said, around 2 o'clock or so, we're going to take a march down to Todos Santos Plaza and circle the plaza once or twice and then return back to the BART station.
Okay. The original end of the line. That's what that station is.
Yeah, the downtown Concord BART right by Todos Santos Plaza. So tell your friends it's accessible. We're working with a lot of folks from Contra Costa for Palestine, Contra Costa Divest. Hopefully they will be there, Bay Area Resistance. There's a whole host of folks that are participating in this. And again, we're partnering with the folks that have been doing the every Saturday at Tesla, the Tesla Takedown folks. So we'll have speakers that normally speak at their events coming out to participate with us. So this is actually a call, answering the call of Robert Reich. If you haven't followed him on Facebook, he's before the hands off thing came up that we just had last week. Robert Reich had put out a call for April 19th. So there's about, I think there's 350 or 400 statewide events happening on April 19th. And this is the closest one to us here in Antioch.
And justice for Timothy Charles Lee. Yes.
Yes, we're going to be near there. We're going to be at the Concord BART. In fact, I just drove through there tonight and I looked at the field where Timmy was found. And I drove through and found out where we're going to be for the sound system for Saturday. And this is not going to be really a Timmy event. Maybe I'll bring his name up since I'm going to be one of the co-MCs.
You should.
But we're directing this at national attention on national issues that we can all agree with. And we're going to bring it home with the folks from Raise the Roof from Concord who have been fighting out there. But I hope anybody that's feeling it and wants to get out and do something and use their voice and wants to get out in the street. Again, this will be a short march just from Concord BART to Todos Santos Plaza. It's like less than half a mile. So maybe a mile round trip and we'll return back to BART. And again, it's just a way to be in a crowd of like-minded folks that disagree with what's happening and, exercise our First Amendment rights, which at this time is getting scary because we know that we've seen people have been deported or not even deported. They've been kidnapped and human trafficked to a prison, like a concentration camp prison in El Salvador. So it's getting a little scary. And we're going to speak out against all that. And if you want to join us, we'll be there Saturday at BART at 1 o'clock.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, we are against enslavement because that's what's happening. Because if you get snatched and taken and put somewhere where you don't belong, you're being enslaved. And there's no telling what they're doing to those poor people. I just read that there was a teen that they took and deported and weren't supposed to. You took a baby. You took someone's baby and sent them to another country. And I'm probably sure they didn't send him to the country because he probably came from here that he doesn't even have an origin or any type of, connection to. So, yeah. Wig and Invader X need to them and the whole administration, they all need to go. And it's crazy that they're calling people criminals when no one's more criminal than them. No one's getting more handouts than Invader X. He's getting all the government contracts. You're getting all the handouts. And they're trying to steal our Social Security and all the money we've worked for all our lives that we paid into. That is our money that came out of our work. So yeah, keep your hands off our money.
Definitely. And I think the resistance to this oligarchy is growing across the country. So again, if you're feeling it on a Saturday and you want to get out, it's not taking up a lot of time. 1 to 3 right there. Non-violent peaceful protest, Saturday, April 19th, 1 p.m. at the Concord BART Plaza. And I will be a co-MC helping to introduce the folks. And Ali Saidi, if y'all remember Ali from
yes,
Stand Together Contra Costa, he will be one of the featured speakers. And we got some folks, some young folks from DVC, and they're part of the SJP Solidarity. What is it? Oh, I'm blanking on the names, but it's like I said, about 15 to 17 speakers will be there, and mixed in with that will be some musical performances. Every few speakers will have a little song or something to lighten the moment.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Frank, for popping in with the good news all the time. Thank you again, Dr. Kimberly Payton, for all the wonderful information that you have, all that wealth of knowledge that comes out of your brain all the time. And then Mr. Don Carlos, if you want to take us out, sir.
Well, since Frank mentioned music,
yes,
let's go out with the happy birthday.
Yes, beady beady bum bum. And we want to thank everyone, and we want to ask that you like, share, and subscribe. And it's every Wednesday, 8 p.m. East County Voices.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.